let's settle into our evening. Welcome to those that are here and also elsewhere online. So taking this time to set up mind, body for our meditation. Having arrived in this place, engaged a posture of sitting for meditation, setting up the mind for our meditation, bringing awareness within and breathing out any stress tension, whilst also letting go of issues, worries, concerns, things that pertain to the world, worldliness, things that may have engaged our minds over the day, over the week, disengaging from those. Permission to pause those things and allow just a conscious knowing awareness, aware of the present, enabling a here, now, knowing awareness, allowing the mind to settle into inner peace, presence, calm, and clarity. And using our reference point for the present, the main reference point being the sensation of the breath. But firstly, relaxing our awareness down into the body, just sensing, feeling the body sitting here. This platform for experience, our body, the mind in the body, and the body in the mind. Sensing the body sitting here, mindful awareness of a few contact points, contact sensations, feet connecting with the floor, feeling our body connecting with the chair, cushion, or meditation stool. And mindfulness to that reference point for present experience. Becoming aware of the placement of our hands and fingers resting in our lap. And then just mindfully sensing, feeling the contact sensation of hands and fingers, whatever they're contacting. One hand against the other or against the fabric of our clothes. Just noticing, even noticing with a neutral knowing. Free from thought, just a knowing. Then bringing awareness up to the shoulders, a place where stress tension can collect. The shoulders often being a measure of experiences during the day, to degree of tension, tightness, contraction. So feeling into our shoulders with awareness, relaxing our shoulders without disturbing the uprightness of our back. Relaxing the shoulders. With awareness feeling down into the chest area, relaxing the chest area so we can breathe freely. Feeling down into the abdomen belly area, a place where we often hold emotions, creating contraction, tightness, relaxing or softening the abdomen belly area so our diaphragm can extend fully. And then feeling the soothing motion, the gentle rising up with the in-breath, relaxing down with the out-breath. Tuning into that perennial process, breathing, the ebb and flow, rising, relaxing. Maybe also being aware of our face, subtle sensations connecting with our face. Perceiving some degree of light coming in through the closed eyelids. And looking into that lightness, brightness, color, patterning, or just blankness. Awareness of a few background sounds, but not being distracted or disturbed by those. The same with the internal mental sight or sounds of thoughts, not getting caught up into those if there are any. And particularly bringing awareness to the sensation of our breath. Wherever we feel that the most, maybe at the nose, nostril area. Directing attention, sustaining attention to feel the natural inflow, outflow of each breath. Allowing the mind to become settled, collected, composed, enabling inner stillness, inner silence, inner spaciousness, experienced as both a freedom and a sense of peace. Freedom and peace, feeling, knowing each breath, breath by breath, moment by moment. Allowing the meditation to settle into our being. Please help yourself to tea biscuits. Have we heard of the term micro to macro correspondence? I've used it at times, not often. It's an interesting term that describes the relationship between something which is small, micro, and that which is macro, large. Where there's a correspondence, there's a sense that what you see in the large is found in the small. And what you see in the small is found in the large, which relates to many, many things in life, even like the information found in a cell may also then relate to the whole body being and functioning, or a bit like fractals patterns, where there's just this you look at a little element of the fractal, the pattern, and you can see that it's just repeat into the whole big huge pattern. We could also see and say the same thing for meditation. So our meditation, even a meditation, even a few minutes in the meditation, can display, show, express the quality of our mind, which can then, the micro, which can then flow onto or be an example of how we're going in life, how we are living our life, the sort of state of our life based upon, looking at a few seconds, a few minutes of meditation. Now we could, for example, ask, well, what's going on in your meditation? Oh, I felt a bit, my mind was distracted, distorted. How's your life going? Oh, I'm often that distracted, distorted. So it's sort of the life is, and how we're leading our life and what's going on is relates right back to the quality of mind, the state of mind, which is another good reason to practice meditation, to be able to look in and check out what's going on with the mind. How is the mind? How calm, clear-minded, peaceful, present is the mind? How distracted, disturbed, distorted, diminished is the mind, state of mind? And do I see that happening in my life? Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah. So, and often we maybe don't even notice how much our life may be a certain way. We get used to it. I'm just caught up in the busyness until, oh gosh, wow, I've been so busy, or I've been sort of absent-minded with how I've been doing things, and missing out on stuff. And so let's have a look at your mind. Oh, yeah, it's unsettled. It's reactive. It's the same as my life. So that's where it can be really good to check in meditation and sort of see, okay, well, my general state of mind in meditation, how does that relate to, or is it corresponding to what's going on in my life, how I'm living my life? What can be done about that? Particularly if in the mind there is that sense of just reacting, resisting, denying, distracting, clinging, condemning, that sort of self-talk that's going on. And is that how I'm relating in my life? Clinging, condemning, reacting, resisting, denying, distracting? How do you feel? Oh, I don't feel very peaceful. So we can do something about it. Sometimes it's difficult to work on the external things, especially if the mind is not worked on, unsettled. So come right back to the microcosm of the mind. If I can start to be a bit more mindful, even mindful and aware of the distractions and distortions and reactions and so forth, and modify those, then maybe can start to flow into how I'm leading my life. The mental states that I have then affect decisions that I have, how I communicate, things that I do or don't do. And so life can become a bit more ordered, which also then flows back into, corresponds back to the mind. So if one's life is more ordered, more peaceful, then it helps the mind to be more ordered and peaceful as well. So it's this flow on and flow back effect. And particularly, I think that one of the things we can look at and learn about the mind, particularly in the context of meditation, is that the quality and clarity, the calm and ease, the peace and the presence within the meditation has a lot to do with how much we can let go, particularly letting go of being caught up in the thinking. Even the pleasant thoughts, the wonderful thoughts, the happy thoughts, the really interesting thoughts, the really intellectual thoughts, the wise thoughts, let go, let go, let go. So the quality of our meditation is directly related to the degree that we can let go of being caught up into those thoughts. And those thoughts will also relate to past and future, things that we want, things that we don't want. So letting go into just total now knowing awareness. So the practice of letting go is integral to meditation. So the deeper the state of mind in meditation, the deeper the peace is a result of letting go. And even not just letting go of being caught up into thinking, me, one of my roles as a professional, as a partner, as a parent, as a brother, son, sister, daughter, friend, whatever. It's about just letting go of those, but also letting go of hopes and dreams and fascinations and planning and all that stuff, all the stuff that has to do with self. Because generally it's the thoughts are always related to self in some sort of a way. Me as a whatever. Even if I'm thinking about someone else, may you be well and happy. It's like, yeah, my my mother or my brother or my sister or my friend or my partner, whatever. Even if it's thoughts about someone else, they're related to us in some sort of a way. Or my neighbor, which is then generating this idea of being someone, being self. So meditation, again, the quality and the depth, the peace of the meditation comes back to the mind being free from thoughts, letting go, but also free from the sense of self, even like, yeah, I'm here meditating. That's another thought, which can involve a limitation to meditation. And even when there is some degree of calm and peace that's there in the meditation, letting go of that as well. So if we hold on to that, then that becomes a problem. So the ultimate practice for meditation is letting go. We could even say the ultimate spiritual practice is letting go. The Buddha taught for 45 years, and the teachings are collected in the Tipitaka, which basically is 84,000 sentences. There's a lot of words there. Written down, it's a lot of volumes. But it could be all summarized in the practice of 2 words, let go. What did the Buddha teach? Let go. As in, like, let go of everything, cling and grasp after nothing. And what's left? Peace. Because when there's holding on, when there's clinging, when there's grasping, then that's when there's going to be some degree of stress, even just the stress of holding on to something. And then maybe the fear, oh, what if it changes? It's going to change, but I'm trying to hold on to it as much as I can. The frustration when it does change, disappointment, distress, despair, depression, anger, resentment. I wanted it to last longer. I didn't get what I paid for. So another way of looking at it is that the degree of our peace and happiness and well-being is directly related to the degree that we're clinging or grasping or holding on to things. And obviously the ultimate letting go is the letting go that then allows nirvana, full enlightenment, which is a letting go primarily of the delusion of the permanency of the egoic self. So one doesn't have to maybe try and let go of everything externally, but just fundamentally within, let go of the illusion and the delusion and the confusion that comes from the mind identifying with, as, and through this egoic self, which is just a collection of thoughts or mental images that come up that we call a memory. Oh, that was me then, and yeah, that was me 10 years ago. And challenges when we get these Google photos, it's like, oh, here you are. This is you 5 years ago. Yeah, that was me. Reminder, but it's like it's creates this seeming permanency and stability and static self. But the self is just this fluxing phenomena, a mental phenomena made out of thought pixels. Even to the point where it looks 3D, here I am. But just turn off the power and it all just disappears. So meditation in many ways is turning off the thinking, which is turning off the program that's running the self. And there's just awareness. Brain obviously is still functioning. The brain is functioning, manifesting the mental faculty of awareness in the present moment, but with deep peace, because it's not being distracted and distorted with the thinking that's occurring. So state of deep peace, samadhi, jhana, deeper meditations. But again, it comes back to the letting go, the ultimate spiritual practice. Doesn't mean that we don't hold where we need to, but we're not holding with the grasping and then the clinging after something, but holding where it's required. And then maybe we need to, okay, that's changing. Okay, we need to let that go, or we're going to use a different system at work. Okay, let go of the old system. Got to do some updates. So let go of this. No updates happening. In many ways, we are a lifetime learning to let go. What is life but the process and the practice of letting go, so that the final letting go is enabled with more peace? Because where there's clinging or holding on, that's where the pain happens. First, letting go of the amazing, wonderful space where we've spent 9 months. Life says, no, you can't stay for 10, you've got to leave. We're pushing you out. So, okay, act in the world, and then letting go of always just being around our mother. Okay, now sleeping over there, separate. Letting go of soft food, taking hard food. Letting go of having no teeth. Teeth come through, painful. Letting go of maybe even being if you're the first child, letting go of being the first child. There's another one. There's a mini me here. Wasn't I enough? You got another one. Letting go of being at home. Got to go to school now. Can't be at home playing all day. Letting go of the small school, going to the big school. Letting go of friends that come and go at school. Teachers that come and go. Letting go of the big school, maybe going to university or college or something. Letting go of that place. Unless you want to become a school teacher or a lecturer. It's like, oh, I love this uni. I'm going to become a lecturer. Letting go of being single. Get into a relationship. Letting go of living at home with the parents. Challenging time comes when down the track we're letting go of the parents because they're dying, or other relatives. Grandparents die, parents die. Letting go of this place, that place as we move different places. Letting go of different relationships that come and go. Letting go of being 21. Letting go of being 31. And in being in a relationship, maybe then, oh, it's not just us now, we're having a baby. Let go of having weekends to ourselves and time to ourselves. Got a baby to deal with. And again, different jobs come and go. Friends come and go. Vehicles come and go. Then down the track, letting go of the health, the body. Not so healthy, not so vibrant, not so strong. Letting go of youth into old age. Letting go of the hair. And then, and even in that, there's times there's letting go of marriages come and go. Kids, letting go of them. Yep, you've got to leave home now, go off and find your own space. And letting go of work, retiring. Maybe downsizing from a bigger house to an apartment. And then even probably the two big letting goes are letting go of one's partner if they die before us, if you have a partner. And also letting go of the last breath. So in many ways, how we have lived our life and then how we have been able to let go relates to those last sort of months, weeks, days, hours, minutes, moments of life. So it's like, okay, we've had plenty of practice. You know that the last letting go is going to come. Often we don't know quite when, but it's going to be happening. Unfortunately, for many people, it happens before they're ready, especially with illness or accident, before they're, maybe an old person and okay, ready to leave. So really important to be able to practice this possibility of letting go. Letting go. So it's not just a physical thing, it's not just part of the human condition, but it's also a spiritual practice towards full, complete spiritual enlightenment, and particularly enabled through our meditation practice, breath by breath. Like the meditation is maintained by being aware of this breath. Oh, I was really mindful for that breath. I think I'll keep that one. And you've got to breathe it out, let it go. The same with our physical life. It's an in-breath and out-breath, inputs and outputs. So all this can relate right back to that micro to macro correspondence. So how we can even practice letting go in the moments of meditation can then relate to how we can then more easily let go in life as well of things. Which could also be a bit like, surfing the wave of the moment. It's dynamic, it's fluid, and to stay on that mindful surfboard, we need to stay balanced and not sort of holding on. Otherwise, we'll end up falling off. It's riding the wave of the present moment, not being caught in the has been or the might be. Ongoing, flowing, knowing awareness. That edge of reality. And again, meditation is often helping us to practice that. So questions or thoughts for yourself around micro to macro correspondence, and also this sense of the practice, the learnings of letting go. Ultimate spiritual practice, letting go. Susanna?
About the micro to macro
correspondence. Yeah.
The first time I learned about that was in my geology studies, when I could see in a polarization microscope a granite, really, really microscopic, and then I look at the granite mountains, and you can see in the macro, the micro in the macro, and vice versa, and it just was.
It's like the grains or the crystals of the granite, and then
they have the same structure as the big mountains.
Yeah.
So that was mind-blowing. What I wanted to say in terms of meditation practice, I'm incredibly grateful to Ajahn Medino's presence. And I don't know what happened, but it has just like lifted my meditation practice to a really different level. And while I've tried this for quite a while, but to be really in the present moment and ride the waves, that, as you so beautifully said, of the present moment without constantly diving into the past, constructing some sort of story and projecting it into the future while living in fear and uncertainty is the main thing. Just like disturbing my being in the moment. So to have this utmost clarity of mind, really being in the moment and just at peace. It's and under the circumstances of our world and my personal situation. that is a miracle in itself.
That's good.
Well, it's an uplift in the meditation.
Yeah. Well, it's like in the meditation, even though there's not a formal invitation, but there's a sense of like, leave yourself behind. Yourself is not required in the meditation. In fact, the meditation will happen when you're not there. So stop selfing, and then there is the meditation happening. Often with the retreat days, I'd say to people, especially the longer retreats, I'd say, you've come here on retreat, but and it's a retreat from yourself. So leave yourself behind, and especially when you come in the meditation hall, taking off your shoes is like a symbol of taking off yourself. So come in without shoes, come in without self, and then the meditation can happen. Because the self is, what gets in the way. The thinking self is there, like, I want to think this to create my sense of self. This is who I am. I'm thinking about that in the future and my roles, and that's all in the mind in the meditation. But self got left out there with the shoes. The meditation can be happening. No roles. Any other thoughts for this?
Yeah, question about maybe some advice on the skillfulness of surfing the wave of meditation. I see in the practice you're teaching, there's a certain process of stabilizing the mind in the beginning, of placing awareness in the body and coming in and stabilizing, and then the samatha practice is a sort of focusing and purifying the mind. And sometimes in that there's a sort of a noticing of, I guess, some kind of something that's unsettled or dissatisfied or suffering, and that might be sort of in the background. And the question would be, at what point do you maybe sort of follow that a bit to understand some insight there? And at what point do you sort of refocus to come back to a sort of peacefulness and not go there, understanding that maybe the micro to macro correspondence might be that dissatisfaction that's in the background might be pointing to something that is, an insight into an absolute understanding the absolute truth of impermanence, and letting go of identifying with, or whether it's pointing to something that's just going on in day-to-day life, like a relative truth. So the question is, like, at what point do we sort of follow that or come back to that? Or
well, I would say in the meditation, and particularly if you've chosen to bring awareness into the present moment, and again, not getting caught up in residue stuff that's there that can be a great distraction into self. It's all sort of all connected to self. And particularly if, yes, sometimes things need to be worked upon, but it's better to have a really calm, clear mind. It's a bit like, say, in a surgical situation, it's like, okay, we take the time to clean and purify the surgical equipment and get it sort of sharp as well. We don't want to get distracted into other stuff. We want to get it really clean and pure and sharp, and then we have really good equipment to do the job. So the meditation is cleansing and calming and purifying and strengthening the mindfulness and sharpening attention. And then outside of meditation, we might go, and it might even be, okay, the meditation's finished and there was this issue. Okay, now I'm going to bring that mind that I've developed in the meditation to the issue. So it's sort of like you're using that tool of the mind with an issue, or might be just in regular life. You reflect or contemplate on something, but not being distracted into sort of therapeutic work in the meditation. It's like that's the time to, like in the meditation, if there's full mindfulness, maybe enlightenment happens and all those issues, they just dissolve.
Okay, so you could sort of take the sort of focusing meditation or the purifying to its natural conclusion, and then either come out of meditation and then look at that, or start another meditation that is more insight based to allow that to come up, rather than being distracted in the purifying meditation.
That's right. Yes. Yeah.
So consciously sort of bring that intention to okay, this is the intention of this meditation.
Yeah.
And then afterwards.
So it's a bit like the cleaning the surgical equipment, and oh yes, no, so I see you've got a wart there. I'll take it off whilst I'm doing the cleaning my equipment, and then the equipment doesn't get properly clean because I got distracted taking that wart off or dealing with something else. It's like, no, this is a focus. Do it. And then afterwards, you can use that equipment for whatever, and it has full capacity. Meg?
I have started a little ritual, which you sort of gave me the words for, but on Thursday mornings, I do something called conscious considered thinking.
Oh, yeah.
Where I just sit and I focus on my thoughts and I like work through my thoughts and those sorts of things, so that when I come to meditation on Thursday night, I'm like, I've had my time, I can put them down, and now I'm just going to be here.
So the CCT, conscious considered thinking, and the TFA, thought-free awareness.
Yeah. And I find that I can't do meditation well if I've not given myself time at some point to do conscious considered thinking, because I have a busy mind. And if I don't allow myself that, I get very distracted and distorted. But conscious considered thinking, I think, is something that I really enjoy. But it helps my meditation.
Yeah.
And I think that as a species and as a culture, where we've lost a lot of that time of just thinking, contemplating, reflecting, ruminating, and sorting things out on that sort of level of mind, because any spare time is like into, what's going on? And that's interesting. Oh, that's funny. And so our time's been stolen, with these devices. So we're not having that downtime for sorting out, sorting through, letting go, attending to, remembering and planning that we would otherwise have.
It's actually, I listened to a podcast recently, and they were talking about something similar to that, where if you are somebody who gets a lot of your like news or current affairs or that sort of things by either just listening to it or having it on a screen that you scroll through, as opposed to if you sit and read a book or you sit and you read an article, it changes the dynamics of your brain's ability to comprehend and also to have critical thinking. And actually the loss of a lot of our critical thinking is from not spending time reading something and then sitting with it, which I found really interesting, which I think you can also do with your own thoughts. You can just sit with them and observe them, and it leads to better critical thinking and analysis, as opposed to what we currently do, which is like,
and not developing digital dementia. Well, do give what we've reflected upon this evening some consideration. Have some CCT, some conscious consideration time or thinking, and see that micro to macro correspondence and the ultimate practice of letting go. Have a great evening and see you next time. Thanks.
So